One of the big decisions you made was to do Celebrity Big Brother, which surprised a lot of people at the time, still does, I think. Ostensibly, the reason is charity, but why had you decided to do it?
I hadn't watched much of it, but I was vaguely aware of what it was. So they were going to do this comic relief version for a week, where a bunch of people go into the house, and it's just going to be a kind of comedy feature that will be trickled through that week for comic relief, and they'll go into it and out of it. And, you know, I didn't really think much about it. I just said, oh, okay, yeah. And it's extraordinary to think now how we'd only seen one series of Big Brother when that happened. So, you know, television wasn't totally awash with it at the time. It was a phenomenon. It had done incredible. It was huge, wasn't it? The first two.
I think it's important to remember now, because this is forgotten as well. At the time, there was a feeling that somehow celebrities would be immune from it, that it wouldn't go as deep, it somehow wouldn't affect them. They'd come out of it unscathed. I mean, that's what people thought then, I think.
Yeah. Listen, I was more surprised than anyone, and I was in there with those idiots, you know. It was, and it was quite scary to see people falling apart, and there was stuff that got said and done in that house that I went into the diary room and said, you cannot ethically do this to people. You can't put this out. And I know afterwards it wasn't put out, and there was stuff going on that was just, I mean, really, you know, heavy. And I was uncomfortable with the fact that no one was having a good time, and no one was, you know, all of a sudden it wasn't about being funny. It was about trying to get attention and favour and showing off. And I was kind of in deep, and I certainly wondered about whether I'd done a good thing at that point, when, you know, when people were really cracking up all around me. And it was at that point I just thought, this is, I've either got to, you know, run away from this situation, or I've got to come back and try and make the very best of it in terms of salvaging something comedic from it. Just try and lift it a bit, possibly. And well, I ran away. That was the first thing I did.
I was going to say, but this is an important question, because your comedy persona is miserable and truculent. It was hard to tell, I found, watching it. So when you were packing your bag each day and saying you wanted to go and then escaping and all the rest of it, but that was comic, but it was also, you were genuinely appalled.
Well, the first escape was actually just genuine, spontaneous, and opportunistic. It was trying to get at messing around, and I don't think it alerted the security. There is security there. It hadn't alerted security because they thought, well, he's not going to get out. He's trying to dig a tunnel, and they knew that it was on concrete. And I was trying to dig a hole underneath this gate, and then I suddenly realised the gate was open anyway. So it had been left open. It was bolted. It should have been bolted on the other side. So I just went out and legged it, and just wandered around for 3 or 4 hours, and just thought, oh, God, I've got to go back. This is just too melodramatic for words. It's pathetic. So I went back in, and after that, I just thought, come on, this is funny as well. I mean, it has to be funny.